Man, that thing looks almost just like the Firemaple Saturn X for half the price. That's pretty awesome. Hey, what's up guys? Sean here, back with another video. Has anything like that ever happened to you? You're in the middle of a big project, honest, serious, real project you need to get done, and somehow you end up in that Amazon rabbit hole. Well, that just happened to me. So I was taking a break, scrolling through my Amazon, and I found this, the Naturehike IGT Stove. And from what it looks like almost a complete replica of the Firemaple Saturn X. And that's what I thought. So I decided to order one and just check it out. If it's as good as the Firemaple Saturn X for half the price, you guys should know about it, right? When this thing comes in, we're gonna check it out and see what it looks like. But for me right now, it's time to get back to work. All right, guys, it was just delivered. And I have to say, I'm a little surprised. Just a little. Ultimately, it's my fault. But let me say this. Have you ever ordered something or saw somebody order something from Temu, and you order what you think is a regular product and what they send you is the small version of that product? That's kind of how I feel. Now, going back, I can see that online, on Amazon, they had the dimensions on there. And I just blew right past it and I didn't pay attention. But what I want to do is I want to show you my Firemaple Saturn. This is the Saturn X. And then we'll show you a comparison of the two. Now, in looks, they look very similar. And that's how I got drawn in. I thought for the price, half price of the regular one, or sometimes a little less than half price of the Firemaple, thought, man, that might be a good deal. And it still actually might be once we test this thing out. But I'd like to show you that this is what my Firemaple looks like. It has the fold out on top of it to hold a large pan. As you can see, these fold out to hold a good sized pan. It has the feet up under it to make it stable on the table. It has the stainless steel hose with the valve on it. And it has the piezo igniter, which works great on this thing. And just look at the form factor on this thing. See what it looks like. This is what I got. And to be honest with you, it's not bad. But it came in this little case. And as you can see, there's a size difference. This feels like the baby brother to the Firemaple. And this is what we have. This is what you get. This is the Naturehike IGT Stove. As you can see, somewhat smaller. It does have the fold out on top of it. These are very stiff, which I'm sure they break in over time and get a little easier, but boy, they are. They're tough right out of the box. Like I said, this thing is brand new. It just got here, so it's a little stiff. There we go. Well, these snap open. One of the things is they don't lay very flat. As you can see, they're still at a good bit of an angle. So I wish they laid a little flatter, but not a huge deal. It does have the little legs that fold out on it, like that. It's got the Naturehike logo on it. And this, the Firemaple Saturn and the Naturehike IGT Stove. It's like this one is designed directly off of this one. Now this one has a 3-burner stove on the top of it. It has the heater on there that heats the gas, the preheater that heats the gas. And it does have a decent little valve on it that actually feels pretty decent on the valve. And so this definitely, when I received it, I was a little bit disappointed because I was expecting this size. And that's on me. I didn't pay enough attention. But in the pictures, this looked like it was going to be the equivalent of this. And that's where sometimes it gets a little sketchy. It feels like you were duped a little bit. Had I paid attention to the measurements, I would have known. But I didn't, and like I said, that's on me. But we're not gonna put this to the side. We're not going to say it doesn't work. We're gonna test this thing out and see how it does. I know that my Firemaple works really well. The nice thing about it is it will hold my big frying pan. We're gonna try that on this one and see what it does. I think it'll actually hold it. And I'm wondering if with these 3 burners and this being up higher, if this doesn't allow the flame to get a little bigger and cover a wider area. That's just a thought. It may or may not work. But we're gonna test this thing out. And instead of being really disappointed in it, let's just take a look at it, see how it does. Maybe it's better than I think. And it's definitely lighter than this one. It's more backpackable. I wouldn't take it on a long hike, but it's a pound or a little less than a pound. So to be honest with you, the form factor being packed down with these 3 burners on it, it might be worth it. So we're gonna test this thing out and see how it does. Okay, so from a stability standpoint, let's just check this out. So with the Firemaple, I cannot put my cup on it like that because it doesn't catch these supports. However, you flip these supports in and it'll hold my cup no problem. The Naturehike will hold my cup just barely from there, but it'll definitely hold my cup stable enough. It's not going anywhere. But if I had a smaller cup, for whatever reason, you could fold these legs in, if you can get them to fold in. You fold these legs in, and you definitely could put a smaller cup on there. So each one of them will work fine with just your standard cup on there. Get these legs back out. One of the things that I like to use oftentimes though is my little coffee pot. So this thing will hold my coffee pot, no problem. And it keeps it up off the flame, no problem. Over here, not a problem at all. It'll hold that coffee pot perfectly. So I feel good and sturdy about this thing. It doesn't feel like it's gonna fall over or anything. So it'll hold this coffee pot perfect. But what about my cast iron frying pan? Where did I put it? Here you are. So I got my cast iron frying pan here. This Saturn will hold this cast iron frying pan, no problem. I have fried fish in this cast iron right here on top of this Firemaple Saturn X. No problem. But what about this? Will this hold it? It doesn't feel wobbly on here. Now I would be more careful with this, obviously. But as you can see, the legs definitely stick out far enough that this feels stable. I don't feel like it's gonna tip over at any point. And obviously now this doesn't have any boiling oil or anything in there, and that might make it feel a little less stable. I would be strategic and place the handle where it has a leg to make it a little more stable. But those are things that you would have to play with it and practice with it. But I'm actually really surprised at how it feels with that cast iron on top of it. And for it to be less than a pound, a smaller form factor, with these little stability tests right here, I'm pretty happy with it. Now the feet and the legs on the Firemaple, it definitely has some bigger feet on there than these. This has smaller feet. The legs are more robust on this thing. But again, we're talking twice the price and twice the size. And I don't even know the weight on it. I would say at least twice the weight. But so right now, I'm pretty happy with the way this thing feels. But I think we need to get a flame out of it and see how it boils water. Let's do that. Now, if I had to give an extra point to the Firemaple Saturn X, it's that it has this piezo igniter built in, where the Naturehike does not. It is a manual light, so you'll have to have a lighter or an ignition source. But let's just take a look at this real quick. One click, and that Firemaple clicks on, no problem. Let's see how good lighting this little Naturehike stove works with a lighter. All right, let's check this out. This is the very first time I've lit this thing. I have not lit this yet. That valve feels like it's going to be very hard to get a small flame on it. As soon as you crack it, it's pretty high. Let's see. No problem, it lights. Let's try to adjust it down. It's very touchy. But it's definitely getting smaller. I don't know, that's pretty low. I know it's hard to see, but that's definitely pretty low. Well, you can't really see. You can see that. I'm pretty surprised, to be honest. It's a little too bright out here to get a good look at that. But I think that I want to see how long it takes to boil a cup of water with this. And that's gonna be a little subjective. I really wasn't gonna put it on a time against the Firemaple because the valves are different. I don't know exactly if this is putting out the same amount of gas as this. So that's a little subjective. This works really well. And again, this is not an apples to apples comparison, as this one is much bigger. It's a little different. But I just want to see how well this one boils a cup of water, how fast it'll boil a cup of water. And we're going to see about running at full throttle, full valve, full gas, whatever you want to say, and just see how fast it'll boil a cup of water. All right. Let's get us a cup of water going here. That's 8 ounces of water. I'm gonna get my lid. Got my lid right here. All right, so I guess the only thing there is left to do Let's try it. So I want to set my timer up on my phone. Let's see. Now I figured this out. I can do a screen recording right here. I can do a screen recording on my phone and then do my stopwatch on that. So we'll set that up like that. Let's go ahead and get this thing started. I'm gonna set this on here. I'm gonna crank this thing wide open. Hit start. We'll see how long it takes. All right, so I have to admit, I'm pretty impressed with that. It boiled in, if you can see this, 1 minute and 38 seconds. 1 minute and 38 seconds, it boiled a cup of water. Not too shabby. So, like I said, I wasn't gonna do a side-by-side comparison, but I think I am. I'm gonna go ahead and fire up that Firemaple Saturn X. Let's just do this test again and see how that does. All right, to make this a fair comparison, I'm going to dump this water out, and then we'll cool this cup off completely like it was before, because that is still hot. We'll cool the cup off completely and start with a cool cup. So right now I can't hardly touch that cup, it's so hot. Go ahead and put some water in it. Slosh it around. Till we got a cool cup. I can easily hold that cup now, and there's no heat at all there. So again, like I said, I wasn't going to make this a side-by-side comparison race, because after I got that little stove, I didn't think that it was a apples to apples comparison. But I gotta admit, I'm pretty surprised with that little thing. It definitely feels cheaper as far as the parts on it. It doesn't feel as refined and well made as the Firemaple. But, I mean, for half the price, how can you complain, right? So let's go ahead and get us 8 ounces of water back in here. Got it. We're gonna reset the clock. Let's set this up here. All right. Reset the clock. I want to screen recording. All right. Now we're at 0 on the clock. Now, where's my igniter at? Igniter's right there. We are ready to go. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing ignited, I'll go full gas valve on there and hit start. Let's just see how fast this thing will boil it. Guess I should turn the gas on. Got it. Full gas and start. Steaming, steaming. It's boiling. I did not see that coming. I am so surprised about that. It ended up at, can you see that? 209. 209. I am so surprised at that. So the Naturehike actually boiled that water in 1 minute and 38 seconds. And the Firemaple took 2 minutes and 9 seconds to boil that water. So that really, really surprises me. That Naturehike actually boiled that water more efficiently than the Firemaple Saturn X. Didn't see that coming. So what are my final thoughts on this? I have to admit, I went into this thinking that this Naturehike stove was their answer to the Firemaple Saturn. But once I got this, I thought it was kind of a joke. I was like, there's no way that this is the answer to the Saturn. I mean, really? This is the answer to that? Bugs. But I gotta say, I am pretty surprised with this little stove. For 34 bucks, it's pretty impressive. Like I said, the build quality is not as good. Obviously, it's definitely not as good. These are kind of tight, hard to use. But I do feel like over time, they will probably break in some. These sides don't feel as sturdy as the Firemaple, but again, it's half the price or less than half the price. $34 for this little Naturehike IGT stove. Like I said, it's around a pound, and the form factor is nice. It packs down really small. Pretty impressed with this little stove. Now, Naturehike did not send this to me. This is not sponsored. This is something that I saw and I thought you guys should know about it. And we should test it out and just see how it does. And I'm glad we did, because it actually did better than I had assumed it would do. That being said, I will leave a link in the description for this for you guys. It is an affiliate link. If you buy one of these, I will get a little cut of it. A very little cut of it, but I'll get a little cut of it. And you guys won't have to pay any extra for it. So if you are looking for something like this, if you're interested in something like this, for 34 bucks right now, I don't think you can go wrong with this. I'm pretty impressed with this. So if you're looking for a stove with a small form factor, you could throw in a pack or even in a car kit. Like I said, this thing will hold that cast iron pan. But for a small form factor like this, I'm pretty impressed with it. So if you're interested in one, link in the description down there. Check it out and get you one. Appreciate you guys watching. I'm pretty surprised with the way this turned out. If you enjoyed this video, give it that big thumbs up for me. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button down there. Ring that notification bell so you get notified next time we put out a video. You can follow us on Instagram and on Facebook. I appreciate you guys watching. Go check these things out. I'll see you next week.